Afternoon students, today we will continue with our third chapter only, that is atoms and molecules, and today's topic is name of the elements and their symbols. So here we will study the names of different elements and their chemical symbols. Now what do you mean by a chemical symbols? First you should know. So a chemical symbol of an element represents a particular element. It is actually the abbreviation used for the full name of any elements, and these symbols consist of one or two letters derived from the Latin name of that element, or it might be one or two letters or the third letters in the capital form of an English name of that element. Now you would be knowing the name of the elements were derived in those days from where it has been isolated or found first time. Okay, and some of the names were derived from the Latin word also. So it was like that. So here we will study the names of different elements that I have written here. So I will suggest you to learn the name of the elements and their symbols sequence wise as I have written, because I have written the name of the elements according to its continuous atomic number wise. You would not be knowing that atomic number concept that you have to study in the next chapter, but if you study or learn the name of the element sequence wisely, it will really help you studying next chapter easily. Okay, so we will just see the name of the elements and Latin word if they have any, and their chemical symbols. Okay, first is hydrogen. Okay, element hydrogen, its chemical symbol is H. Then helium, its chemical symbol is He. So you can see here the chemical symbol here is the first letter of the word which is written in the capital. Every time if you are writing the chemical symbol, the first letter of the chemical symbol will be in capital letter. If it is of just one letter, means it will be written in capital. If it is of two words, then the first one always be in the capital letter only, and the second word generally mostly it you have to write in small letter only. That you can just see in helium. Helium, the first letter H capital and E is small. Now lithium, this is lithium. Here also the symbol is Li, where L is capital and I is small letter. Now beryllium, it is also taken from the word B and E, the first two letters, where the first letter is in capital form and second one you have to write in the small. Okay? So boron, chemical symbol is B, carbon is capital C, then nitrogen is N, capital N, oxygen is capital O, fluorine is capital F, neon is capital N, and the second letter is E, Ne. Its chemical symbol is Ne. Now sodium. Sodium is not taken from the English word, actually English name of the element. It is the chemical symbol of sodium is Na, and Na is taken from the Latin word of the sodium. The Latin word is what? Natrium. So it is taken from the symbol is taken from the sodium Latin word, that is natrium. The first letter is capital and small, the second one is small a. Okay, so the chemical symbol of sodium is what? Na. Then the magnesium is, then the magnesium is, you can see the first letter and the third letter. So first letter is always capital and the third letter is G, that is small n. Okay, then you have aluminium, Al, first two letters. Then silicon, Si, first two letter, where first is capital and the second one is small letter, Si. Then phosphorus, its chemical symbol is capital P. Then sulfur, capital S. Chlorine, capital C and small l. Okay, then argon is Ar, first two letter capital A and small r. Potassium is taken from the Greek word called kalium. Okay, kalium. So it has been taken from Greek word, so symbol is here K, you can see. Now calcium is Ca, scandium SC, titanium TI, vanadium VA, chromium is CR, first letter and the third letter, okay. And the chemical symbol of manganese is Mn, first and the third letter, okay. Then iron is taken, the symbol of iron is taken from the Greek word ferrum, so the first two letter, that is Fe, okay. Cobalt CO, capital C and small o. You will be very careful, it is capital C and small o, okay. Now nickel is capital N and small I. Then copper is taken from the Greek word coprum, okay, and its chemical symbol is what? Cu. Now zinc is Zn. Similarly, you have other element name also and its symbols. Now gallium is Ga. Germanium, it is G, you know it, these are all metalloids. Then arsenic is Ar, chemical symbol. Selenium, capital S and small e. Bromine, capital B, small r. Then krypton, capital K, small r. Rubidium, first capital word and the third small capital letter and small third letter is small, okay. Then strontium, capital S, small r. Yttrium, Y, and the chemical symbol of zirconium is Zr, first letter is capital and the third letter is small to be written, okay. So here you can see that the first letter always be in capital letter, or second or third letter will be in small letter, okay. Now silver, you can see it is taken from the Latin word argentum, so from the Latin word the symbol has been taken, capital A and small g. Then cadmium, capital C and small d. Then tin has been taken from the Latin word stannum, and it is here the symbol is capital S and a small n, okay. Antimony is taken from the Latin word stibium, okay, and here also capital S and a small b, okay. Then iodine, capital I. Then xenon, capital Z and small e, okay, first two letters. Then tungsten, it has been taken from the German name actually Wolfram, and its chemical symbol is W. Now platinum is PT, first letter capital and the fourth letter small letter T, okay. Gold is taken from the Latin word, the symbol of gold, that is aurum, and it is written like that, AU, first two letters. Then mercury, and the symbol of mercury is Hg, and it has been taken from the Latin word, that is hydrogenum, okay. Hydrogenum. And then lead has been taken from the symbol of lead, that is Pb, has been taken from the Latin word that is called as plumbum, okay. It has nowadays also there, it is said by this name only, it has been, lead is called by this name only, plumbum, okay. P and B, capital P and small b. So that was about your name of the elements and symbols, and you are all instructed to read out and learn all the names of the elements and the chemical symbols, okay. We all know that atom is very tiny in size, that cannot be seen by our naked eyes. Also, if we gather or collect millions of atoms together, that also cannot be isolated or seen. So it is highly impossible to determine just the mass of an atom of an element by weighing. Mass of millions of atoms present in a sample can be weighed. For example, if we take some amount of sodium metal, so that sample of sodium metal would contain millions of atoms of element sodium in it. So that sample can be weighed, which contains the millions of atoms in it. But if we want to just weigh or determine the mass of an atom, then that cannot be done. Hence, scientists was in search of having one standard of mass, and by comparing that standard of mass, the relative mass of other elements can be determined. So they made a standard of mass as hydrogen, and the mass was taken as 1. Because hydrogen is a simplest or the lightest element of all the elements, so they chose to make the standard of mass as hydrogen 1. So by comparing with the mass of hydrogen, which was taken as 1, the relative mass of other elements can be determined. But it did not work out positively, as most of the masses of elements which was calculated by keeping the standard hydrogen 1, the masses came to be in fractional values. So scientists changed their mind and they thought to change the standard. Again the standard was changed to oxygen, which was about 16 times heavier than hydrogen atom. So they kept the standard of mass at oxygen 16. Okay, but again they observed that whatever they calculated, it did not give the best result. So again scientists changed the standard for the better results, and again carbon was taken as standard mass as 12, as it was about 12 times heavier than the hydrogen atom. So they kept the standard as carbon 12. Okay, so on that basis, that means on keeping the standard mass as carbon 12, they started calculating the relative mass of other elements, and they found that the relative mass of hydrogen came to 1.008 value, and relative mass of oxygen came to about 15.9994 or 16. So like that they started calculating the mass of different elements by keeping the standard mass as carbon 12. So now we can define atomic mass of any element. Student, you should know that if it is asked to calculate atomic mass of an element, means it is asking the mass of an atom of that element, mass of one atom of that element. For example, if you have been given the chlorine element, a sample of chlorine element, let's say if you have one full spatula of chlorine, okay, like chlorine element, in that sample, full spatula of sample chlorine, you have millions of atoms present in that sample. And if you are asked to calculate the atomic mass of chlorine, means you are asked to calculate mass of one atom present in that chlorine sample. Okay, mass of just one atom. Okay, so you can think of the atomic mass of any element, that means mass of one atom is very small, and there is no unit we know to just calculate it. We cannot calculate in gram or kilogram. These are the big units. The mass of one atom is very small, so we cannot how to calculate the weight or mass, what would be the unit. So these all we will discuss now. First we should know what is the definition of atomic mass of an element. So atomic mass of an element can be defined as number of times an atom of that element is heavier than the atom of carbon taken as 12. This definition has been predicted from our earlier discussion, in that we took the carbon as standard and comparing the mass of carbon 12, we have to calculate the atomic mass of other elements. So that's why the definition is also like that. It is defined as number of times an atom of any element is heavier than an atom of carbon 12. Okay. For example, hydrogen is about 12 times lighter than carbon 12. So we can just say the atomic mass of hydrogen as 1. Okay. Now we have calculated the relative atomic mass, that is 1, 12, 16 for oxygen and all. Okay, but we don't have any unit to express it. How to express the atomic mass of any element? We cannot express it in gram or kilogram because they are very big units, and mass of one atom is very, very small. So scientists started searching for the unit to express the atomic mass of any element. So they found the unit as atomic mass unit. They named the unit of unit to express atomic mass as AMU, that is atomic mass unit. So it was proposed as a unit to express the atomic mass of an element. Now what is 1 AMU? So 1 AMU means it is 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon 12. So you have one atom of carbon 12, and if you divide it into 12 equal parts, then each part is 1 AMU. Okay, we can just take an example of a watermelon. If watermelon is one atom of carbon 12, okay, and if we divide or cut it into 12 equal pieces, okay, so each piece, the mass of each piece is what? 1 AMU. Mass of each piece of watermelon is, which is carbon, one atom of carbon 12 is 1 AMU. So we can just say that 1 AMU is equal to what? 1/12 the mass of one watermelon. Or watermelon is what? 1 atom of carbon 12 that we have taken. Okay, so if you divide one atom of carbon 12 as watermelon into 12 equal parts, then each part is what? 1 AMU. So you can think of the one atom of carbon 12 is only it's so tiny and the mass is so less, and it's each part, if you cut it into 12 equal parts, then each part is 1 AMU. Okay, so from that we can just predict the atomic mass of other elements. For example, so 1 AMU is what? 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon 12. Okay, so atomic mass of hydrogen is found to be 1.008 AMU. Now we have to write. Okay, similarly AMU 1.008 AMU. Why? Because hydrogen is around or about 12 times lighter than the one atom of carbon 12. So it is about 12 times lighter than one atom of carbon 12. So it has value about 1 AMU, that is 1.008 AMU. Similarly, atomic mass of oxygen was found to be 16 AMU. You can also write the atomic mass of carbon also. So atomic mass of carbon, how much it will be? It is standard taken as 12. So you can just write here the atomic mass of carbon is 12 AMU. Okay, so you should know what is the value of AMU in gram. We cannot just weigh in gram, but you should know in gram how much, what would be the value of AMU. AMU is a very, very, very small unit. So we can just see the value of 1 AMU is about 1.66 into 10 to power minus 24 gram. Okay, that is why we cannot just express the atomic mass of any element in like this in gram. So scientists wanted one unit which gave a perfect value in number wise value. There wouldn't be any fractional values or something. That is why. But if you see the value of 1 AMU, it is about 1.6 into 10 to power minus 24 grams. So like that you can just calculate the value of 1.008 mu also in grams. How? You can just see, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.008 mu. You can just write it as 1.008 into 1 mu. You can write like that. So 1.008 into 1 mu is what? 1.66 into 10 to power 24 grams. So you can just calculate. So atomic mass of hydrogen in grams, if you calculate it, it will come 1.673 into 10 to power minus 24 grams. How many points you have to just shift? That much of gram is the mass of one hydrogen. Okay, so here the value is so much less that we cannot just give the unit gram or kg, something like that. That is why scientists suggested one unit as AMU, that is atomic mass unit. Later this AMU was again changed the name as U, and U was called as unified unit. Okay, unified unit of mass. So later it was written as 1U or 12U or 16U. So in U they started expressing the atomic mass of an element. Okay, we will see atomic mass of different elements, but before that I just want to discuss one more term, that is isotopes. During the calculation of atomic mass, it was found that atoms of same element possess different masses. You know that if you have been given a sample of chlorine element, so in that the sample contains millions of chlorine atoms in it, but all the atoms of the chlorine do not possess the same atomic mass. So how to then calculate the actual mass of one atom of chlorine element? It was very difficult. So new term was proposed, that is isotope. Isotope, as earlier I have discussed, isotopes are the different atoms of same element having different atomic masses in it. We had learned the examples of hydrogen. You saw that same hydrogen have the atoms having different atomic masses. Even in chlorine we saw that different isotopes are present, or different atomic mass of same chlorine atom is present in chlorine. So those different atoms of the same element having different atomic mass are called as isotopes. So how to calculate the actual mass of an atom of chlorine? So scientists, what they did, they calculated the average of masses of all the isotopes present in that element, and that was taken as the relative atomic mass of an element. So whatever now we are going to see the atomic mass of different elements, they are the average atomic mass of elements. Average atomic mass means we have calculated the average of masses of all the isotope, and that average we have taken as the average atomic mass of that element. Okay, so we can also just define relative atomic mass of any element. It is the average relative mass of elements atoms as compared with an atom of carbon 12. Okay, so quickly we see the elements and their atomic mass. Okay, so you can just see these are the name of the elements and the average atomic mass. Wherever we calculate, we just take the average atomic mass only, because we cannot calculate the actual atomic mass, because there are different atomic masses of the same atoms of element are present. So we have to take the average anyhow. So hydrogen have that average atomic mass how much? 1.008. Then helium is 4.0026, lithium is 6.94, beryllium is 9.0112, boron 10.81, carbon 12.001 mu. It is expressed in U. Okay, you have to write U here, unified mass. Okay, the unit is what? 1.008 U. So like that I have written till calcium. I have written the atomic mass. You have to go through all the elements and their atomic masses. Okay, so later in the next chapter you will see that while expressing the atomic mass, let's say if you have to express the atomic mass in a symbol, okay, while writing a symbol, so we take the mass as these things. So hydrogen we will take not 1.008 but we'll write just 1. For helium we just not write 4.0026 but we will write 4. So how it is so, the why this, how this value, how does this value come and from where it has come, these all things we will study in the next chapter. So I just want to, now let's say if you have to show the atomic mass on the symbol, then we will use these values. Okay, let's say if you have to write the atomic mass of, show the atomic mass of hydrogen, so we will just write a 1 here at the, as a upper subscript of the right side of the symbol. Okay, similarly if you have, say, helium, so helium how much? We will not write 4.0026 but we will write what? We will just write 4 here. Okay, then carbon is how much? 12, so we will write here as 12. Okay, then nitrogen is how much? See, it is 14, so we will write here as 14. Now oxygen, you'll see oxygen, where is oxygen? Yes, oxygen how much it is? 16, so we will write here as 16. Okay, then calcium is here, it is 40 U, so it is, we'll write here as 40. So if we write like this, this shows that, this show the atomic mass of element, atomic mass of carbon, atomic mass of nitrogen, atomic mass of oxygen, atomic mass of calcium, like that. Okay, thank you. We discussed solved questions of last class homework given to you. First question was, which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory is the result of law of conservation of mass? So atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. This postulate was the result of law of conservation of mass. Okay, atoms cannot be created or not be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Okay, which postulate of Dalton's atomic theory can explain the law of definite proportion? So one of the postulate which says that the relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. Okay, so that is explains the law of definite proportion or constant composition. Okay. Then third is, why is it not possible to see an atom with naked eyes? Very simple question. Because atoms are very, very small. If you see the diameter, it is about 1 × 10⁻⁹ meter. That is of about a nanometer. They are very smaller in size that even if you collect an aggregate of several thousand atoms, the atoms cannot be seen. So you can think of how smaller are the atoms. Okay. Now fourth is, define isotope and isobar with example. So this you have to write little in a clear way. Most of you have written very clearly, and some of you have written, you have tried well, but just see how you can just write in a proper manner. Okay. Isotope, first we have to define it. Atoms of same element having different atomic mass, they are called as isotope. So you can just give the examples. Isotopes of hydrogen element you can just give: protium, deuterium and tritium. As I told you, they have that protium have atomic mass. The protium is an isotope of hydrogen, deuterium is also an isotope of hydrogen, and tritium is also an isotope of hydrogen. And if we see the atomic masses, protium has atomic mass 1, deuterium has atomic mass 2 mu, and tritium has atomic mass 3 mu. So when you are rather writing 1 AMU, 2 AMU, 3 AMU, you can just show on the symbol only. You can just write hydrogen, and on the upper subscript at the right side you can just show the atomic mass, how the atomic mass are different in hydrogen. Okay, different atoms of hydrogen having different atomic masses. Now you will have some doubt, like what is 1 1 1 is written here. So this shows the atomic number of any element that you have to study in the next chapter. Okay, in this class only. So you just should know this is the atomic number written in the lower subscript at the left side of the symbol, and atomic mass also always should be written at the as a upper subscript and at the right side of the symbol. Okay, so we discussed also the isotopes of chlorine. So isotopes of chlorine are chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. That also you just can show by symbols only. Okay, how? You just see here, chlorine has atomic number 17. It has atomic mass 35. Okay, one more chlorine atom is there, whose atomic number is 17, but it has atomic mass 37. So you can see the same chlorine atom have different atomic masses, 35 and 37. So this type of atoms having different atomic masses, same element but different atomic masses, are called as isotopes. Okay, now we will see isobar. Isobar are atoms of different elements but having same atomic mass. Okay, so they are called isobars. Example, calcium and argon. These are two different elements. They should have two different atomic masses, but they are having same atomic masses. So that type of atoms of different element having same atomic masses are called isobar. We'll just see in symbols only. Symbol here, calcium is an element whose atomic number is 20, and argon is also an element whose atomic number is 18. But if you see the atomic mass, both atomic mass are same. So these are two different elements having same atomic masses. So those type of atoms of different elements having same atomic masses are called as isobar. Okay, that was about your homework question answer. Thank you.